touch me, baby. It feels so amazing. When you need me, and you make me.
Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Time for one of my favorite arguments to have, like out in the wild and out in the real world. Manga versus anime.
私が先にぶっかけてやる。私が味わった屈辱をあんたにも味合わせてやる。
ここでしちゃったらシーツがびしゃびしゃに。
So I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm more towards manga for a lot of reasons, but the main one, well, give me a second, well, I'll get to it. So one of the reasons why I enjoy this argument so much is because I've had to watch manga for different reasons throughout my life, and I've had to watch only anime for different reasons throughout my entire life. And now, mostly I'm a mix between the two. And I feel like I know the pros and cons of both pretty much. So now begins the video where I explain to you why manga is better. Just kidding. So the one thing that I think manga has over anime is manga has the unique ability to communicate the author's vision of the story. Here's the thing. As someone who creates art, who is an artist by trade, I basically am getting a degree in fine arts. And I understand art style and traditional, digital, all this, that, these, and those. Manga is a wonderful way of producing art. It has panels that are to die for. And I could mention some of the most well-known panels that are some of the most beautiful art ever created within the genre. But I'm gonna take it easy and I'll give a better example. Dorohedoro, for example. If you read the manga, you'll see how dirty and nasty and grody that art style is. But there's a point. The author wanted it that way. The author created this show to specifically be that way, and the story revolves around this grody, disgusting, death-filled story that is a classic, and I'm definitely going to make a review on it. But the art style almost reflects and heightens the story. And this is also noticeable within Berserk, and obviously I was going to mention it. I am of the vast majority that thinks Berserk should never be animated. I genuinely feel that way. I feel like Berserk shouldn't be touched. I feel like you can't capture Berserk in animation. I just don't think the skill level is there personally. I just don't think it's there because Berserk has so much emotion. It has so much skill. It has so much beauty within its panels that it is almost going to be a 100-man to a 200-man system to be able to draw, to be able to capture, to really give detailed attention to what Berserk deserves and the ability to do a good animation.
Hey yo, what the fuck? Man, this is some bullshit! Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And the reason why I'm so expressive on certain things, I do believe certain manga should never be touched. Anime studios have a way of just fucking shit up. I'm not even gonna hold you. 7 Deadly Sins, that is a travesty. There are certain shows that should not have just been released that way. And the only show that I didn't mind how they made it was Beastars. And that is a rare, and I mean rare occasion where animation does something and I don't completely hate it, or I at least enjoy the story for what it is. And Beastars is just that. It hit every spot completely well. Like, I don't even like how they animated Kigen Asura. Like, I hated it, but it looked kind of cool, and some of it was highlighted and some of the fights looked gorgeous, but I was just like, nah, B, if you're not gonna draw this from scratch, I'm kind of off it. And yes, I also understand the process of animation and how much work is within it. But I think if you're not going to do it right, I don't think you should do it at all. And I firmly believe that. That's why I'm glad that Vagabond isn't really talked about getting into animation, because that, if they don't do that show justice artistically, there's no point in touching it. There's just no point. Even though I would love to see the show animated for the philosophical and a lot of the fight scenes and a lot of the coolness that was expressed within that manga, I just don't think if you're gonna do it justice, just don't touch it. Now, quick disclaimer. I do know that Akira and a lot of Satoshi Kon movies were animated within the late 80s and the late 90s and even to the early 2000s. Those are hallmark animations. And I do know that I do love the animation for One Piece. I do love it. I adore it. I love everything about it. And I think One Piece is one of the rare shows that get really good animation. Also, there's others that get really good animation and that it gets better and better the more times I see it. Like the way One Piece animated Gold D. Roger and Whitebeard when they were young, incredible. But I don't think every show gets that. I also like how Death Note was animated. I like how a lot of different shows were created, but I realized that these are shows that were given a lot of love and given a lot of patience. Also Naruto's and that, Bleach also. These are shows that got so much love and attention, and I don't feel like each anime studio does that. And I think bad animation can kill a show. It really can. I don't hear nothing about Seven Deadly Sins anymore. I don't hear nothing about a couple different shows that really just had horrible animation. And the thing about it is, when you do animation, you are basically taking what people thought in their brains and you're putting it on screen and making it almost more real than it already was, and that's a very important undertaking. So now, on the flip side, anime. I love anime purely because of the adventure. Back when I used to turn off my brain and just watch anime for hours, it was something of a religious experience to wait season per season and just watch anime on top of anime, try new anime, and just be surprised by what was coming out that season. There was a time in my life I would just watch each season and I wouldn't even know. I would just click on the new list and I would just watch something. And that was some of the greatest times where I discovered some of my favorites. I discovered things I didn't know I would like. And anime was an adventure. It was something I could talk to my friends about. I'm also an Adult Swim kid. I couldn't believe how amazing it was to see Naruto each Saturday and how amazing it was to wait for an episode and then finally get to see it and then have cliffhangers. Like, does anyone remember cliffhangers? I remember when all shows had cliffhangers and that adventure, that anticipation, and I kind of miss, and I'm kind of getting that from Blue Period because it's releasing every Saturday on Netflix, even though I read the manga all the way up to date. But I love how it's animated. I love how the story is being showcased, but I don't like how they're missing out on the expressions that come within the characters in Blue Period. That was something I didn't like. And also, I do enjoy how JoJo's is animated. I think that was hit out of the park. It's done well. The color schemes, a lot of the whimsical nature that comes out from Araki Sensei's art is definitely animated well, but I think those are rare occasions. I can tell you a lot of good animations, but I can tell you so many horrible animations that is not even funny.
私を選んで生き延びるかシックスを選んで死ぬか選んで。
I think one of the great things about anime is how it forces you to sit down and appreciate a story. And I also realize how much it's helped me replace TV. And I also have to admit something, I make AMVs. Does anyone remember like the beginning place of AMVs when it was just Linkin Park on every song? It was Avril Lavigne and Paramore on a lot of AMVs. And this was back when like MySpace was popping, and we saw all sorts of AMVs and went through a little bit of the emo phase. And I remember when MySpace had all the videos. I remember when all the voiceovers on anime and how we would make jokes. I just loved all that, and I used to talk to my friends about it endlessly. There's so many good memories that came from watching anime and being able to talk to my friends about. Manga, it doesn't really go that same way. It is kind of fun to at least recommend it, and it's kind of like a book club, but being able to talk anime is so exciting, and to be able to watch it with others and the camaraderie and how you make friendship. And I was a part of an anime club at one point in my life as a kid, and you used to make clubs at school and stuff like that. To be honest, this video has devolved into me appreciating both for what they are. I'm gonna be honest with you, at this point in time, I'm getting more and more into anime. One problem with anime, I have to be honest, I do not like the time investment. That is the one thing that makes me very sad about anime, is because I don't have a lot of time. I'm a full-time college student. I also have my own business, and I also do something that is very time extensive. And being unable to do that at my leisure and having so many hours allotted to just watching anime is very difficult. So when I watch something, it kind of has to be good. It has to already have something that makes me want to keep watching for more and more. And I sort of feel like I waste my time when it doesn't. And manga also, I also like the ability that manga gives me to understand if a story's gonna go off or not. I get a full unedited story. I can get 100 episodes and not have to worry about an anime closing off randomly or cutting something off that destroys a plot point. And these are the two main points that I see in arguments. But regardless, I think you should enjoy either one. I think you should, as a normal adult, just choose what helps you and how you enjoy the medium. I think you should do both. I think that's more healthy in my idea, when you appreciate both mediums and you're able to enjoy each story for what it is, even though there's a couple stories in manga that I wish would get animated, or at least get another animation, stuff like that. I feel like I'm just really appreciating this aspect of this genre of media that I love, and I love sharing it with you guys. I hope you appreciated the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what some of your favorite manga, and tell me some of your favorite anime adaptations, and also tell me which ones were bad and which ones were good. Just have a full-on discussion and let me know, because I think I'm really in love with this medium, and I'm really happy to be able to talk about it.